Hello and welcome to Flooring Models Kit View Time. Today we've got Airfix's latest release. This is the new tooled 1/48 scale Westland Lysander. So this is the Mk.III. Hopefully we'll see some other versions in black coming out. All right. As I said, we've been waiting for a nice 1/48 scale Lysander for quite a long time. And let's face it, options out there. There is a few around. I've reviewed them in 72nd. And obviously you've got that classic Matchbox kit, reboxed by Revell in 32nd, if you want to go that way. But 48th seemed to be really left out. And then lo and behold, as a total surprise to all of us, I think, Airfix dropped this one on us late last year. Anyway, it is come out. It is available. So I thought I'll get one for you and have a look at. So, box art, beautiful box art, as you can see down on here, pretty much loaded up, as we can see down on this one. And then a little bit of a run around on the box. It's that typical Airfix boxing, if you like. So your kit number for this one is A07116. All right, and we've got a few about the actual, the markings that they're in and things like that. So we've got here Salisbury in Wiltshire. 1938, 1939 with 16 Squadron, and we've got 309 Squadron, obviously the famous Polish squadron as well. So this one's operating out of Glasgow in 1940. So that's your marking options for this one. So it is sealed, so we will need to cut our way in. I have not been in here yet at all. I have seen obviously it made up. We saw it at Telford and a few other things. So we can have a nice look down in here. So we are greeted by big old bag. So, all right, we're not separate bags, but we're getting there. So we've got 3 in there, and we've got 2 in there, and we've got another one just down in there. All right, as always, we will start with the instructions. I'm hopeful the decals are in here. So they are. We'll look at those in a moment. And we've got the colour callouts, which are nice. We'll go through that as well. So, instructions. Usual thing with Airfix, got the nice colour callouts on this one to show you in the red, obviously what you're really dealing with in that specific area. All right. So down in here, working on the fuel tank to start with, got a multiple part fuel tank going down in there like that, and quite a little bits of internals all the way through on this one. We've got internal framework as well, because obviously this is a fabric aircraft, so we've got all of those going in, showing on the inside, and some nice details inside here. So again, depending on how we're having things, it's got them removing bits and pieces off of you, so keep an eye out for all of those ones, and then literally working our way through, as you can see. So quite a lot going on, but don't forget, a lot of this is to help you out, you know, from a point of view of literally just giving the different angles to things to show you exactly where they lay out and all the rest of it. So it's not too busy at all. Got the ammunition racks down in here. We've got obviously lots of detailed stuff around for the cockpit areas, forward areas. We've got the seats. Looks like we're possibly going to be painting on those. We have to see if they are molded into it or they are separate. And again, we've got the various ones going down in there. We do get a crew figure for this, depending obviously if you've got a crew or not. So again, will depend on obviously which ways you're doing it. All right. So again, nice ones going down in there. Forward bulkhead going on there. More ammunition containers. All right, right the way through. And then obviously all the various pieces being fitted down in there. Instrument panel looks like it is a decal, which is fair enough. A little bit of internal framing into the actual main outside parts all the way through. And again, depending on what you're doing, chopping things open and opening them back and things like that, right the way through. All right. Then 2 halves coming together. The sort of front cowling area being fitted onto this one as well. The belly plate going up underneath as well. And again, you've got options and choices down in here as well. And then we've got those little stub undercarriage wingy things going down in there. Tailplanes being fitted onto this one. You've got the rudder as well. And again, depending if you want to the rudder positioned in that, you can do it in various ways. And then down in here, we've got options as well with the actual undercarriage wheel section, if you like, so you can have it open or closed, I should imagine, and things like that down in there as well. So again, this particular version looks like it is just the open one without the side ones on, to be honest. But again, we've got the light being fitted down in there and various things, all right, with all of those on. You have got an option if you're going to have the little bomb rack winglets onto the side there, and then wheels and multi-part are built up as well. So again, right the way through on those ones, and then fitting those in. Oh, you do have the option, so you can actually have it with the wheel cover sort of on or off, depending. All right, right the way through. Tail wheel being fitted down into there as well. We've got the gun sight being fitted on the front, and then obviously we've got the pilot figure. And the pilot figure, for me, was a highlight, really. When we first saw this kit, he's beautifully done. New tall one. It's not the old-fashioned one. It's a nice new one as well. So him being fitted down into there as well. And also we've got a rear gunner So he's being fitted down into this one as well. All right. And then depending on, obviously, if you're going to be having things open or closed, if it's in glazing and stuff, depending where your guns are going to be. All right. Lots of glazing on this one. Let's face it. I think we're all waiting for a mask set to come out for it, if it hasn't come out already, because it's going to be pretty much a must on this particular kit. So lots of various glazing all the way down in there. It's quite complex how it goes in there, because again, there's, you know, the wing section goes right the way through the glazing and that. So yeah, that's one way of doing it. Then we've got little windows into the back there and all the rest of it. Then we're talking about the wings, opening up various holes down in here. And you've got the wing halves going together as pretty standard. And then obviously we've got the flaps being fitted down onto the back. We've got the ailerons going on there as well. So depending if you wanted the flaps up or down, you've got the option down in there. And again, we've actually got the lights being fitted down to the end, pitot tube, strut being fitted, and then the wings being slid on, all right, and down into that one. Pretty straightforward. Then a nice touch with this kit is you've got a lovely detailed engine at the front. So again, nice detailed engine right the way through. And again, I'm sure with a little bit of clever cutting and things like that, you can have it with the cowlings open and closed at various areas as well if you wanted to sort of upgrade the kit a little bit. Then obviously that's all being fitted down onto this one. And then obviously we have the options further back if you wanted the bomb racks fitted. So obviously if you have, you're going to have the bombs all fitted to the bottom of this one and onto the little winglets right the way through. So plenty of stuff going down in there. Then last up, you've just got the small little aerials being fitted down in here and things like that. And all of these going right the way over it, as you can imagine. So again, depending on how you're going. So it does look quite a nice complex kit without being too much, if you know what I mean. So the marking options for this one. As I said here, we've got the gorgeous Polish one. I think that'll be a highlight for a lot of people from down in there as well. So it's reconnaissance aircraft, Glasgow, 1940. And then again, on the other side down in here, we've got one from Salisbury, Wiltshire with 16 Squadron as well in 38-39 with the sort of early war, shall we say, reconnaissance with the white, or the silver, I should call it, shouldn't I? Underside with the actual black as well. So very nice with those markings down in there. Nice touch with the decals. So as you can see with the decals, they look pretty darn good as always. Very, very nicely done. No problem. Nicely got the map. So we've got a Scotland map. And obviously, I think I've got a bit of a French area map as well. So again, depending on which way you're going with that one. But the decals do look nice, good, solid, clean, crisp markings with those. So where do we start? Let's start over here. So in bag one, we are greeted by, we've got the clear parts, which we'll have a look at in a moment, which is then past. But down in here, we have got very nice sprue A, as we can see down in there. So the plastic right off the bat looks a little bit, the sort of modern way of doing it. I think this is made in India, if I'm probably right on that one. But again, it's got that sort of colour and plasticky sort of feel to it. It's a little bit soft, the actual plastic, but it looks to be very nice. The only thing is, I don't know how close they are, and hopefully they won't go through, but straight off the bat, you've got, obviously these are ejector pin marks, and hopefully they're not coming through, but they are visible. There we go, you can sort of see them. Hopefully they're not that bad. It's probably just one of those with coloration of the temperature in the plastic, but you can spot them all over. We've got another one down in there, look. I hope this isn't just one of the ones I get, which tend to be a bit awful for it. But yeah, you can see the coloration on these, the webbing effect, as I call it, on here. It's quite pronounced, you know, and sometimes this can be caused by, you know, ejector pins, where their placement is, things like that can make the plastic go a little bit funny. But reporting it, they feel fine. So I think by the time you get a coat of primer on this, they should be absolutely fine. Anyway, as we can see, beautiful texture over the runners and the formers. You can see the sort of ribbing down in there. On the tail, we are all recessed, nice details. We've got these fasteners. Get these open on the back. There we go, which are raised, which is very nice. Some nice grilling detail at the front. Underneath here, again, we've got these fasteners and things like that going on. They all look very nice indeed. And again, on the inside, there's not much to write home about, because obviously it's all going to be covered up with all that framework and fuselage, to be honest. Then down in here, we've got the various parts for the tail sections, bellies, rudder, and stuff like that, as you might imagine. So again, these have got raised details on them. So it's recessed on the front, raised on the rear. So again, looking very nice. And we've actually got a row of very fine, you can hear it, raised rivets just running on the trailing edge there of those wings, the tail planes. And again, so they're not posable, but very nicely detailed. Speaking of the wings, so we've got the big old wings down in here like this. This is sprue B, and generally, again, looks really nice. The wing textures, as the light catches it, you can see it over, obviously, on the overhead here. Really very nice indeed with all of those. And then a little bit closer in, you can see how they've molded these humps under the fabric, which looks standing out very well. Then we've got these sort of inspection ports, I think they are, over here. I'm hopeful. Again, you would see these, and I think a lot of people go, oh my God, there's an ejector pin. No, it's not. It's not an ejector pin, Mark. It's supposed to be there. These are humps underneath the fabric. And again, it's got that gorgeous texture, and it is very tactile to feel it. Underside, pretty much the same again. You can see those showing through. And this stressed sort of the linen effect across the formers of the wing is absolutely beautifully done. Very, very nice. And again, just running your finger, every now and again you feel a lump. You know, so the riveting along the, which is technically the leading edge of, well, trailing edge of the wing down here in front of the flap, is all recessed. So very nice with those. We've got your ailerons at the end here. And again, looking very nice. Got raised, I don't know if they are rivets. They're a bit far apart for rivets, or whatever they are. But they're very nicely done. So again, cool. Okay, so down in here looks like we've got the engine bits. So this is sprue E, as you can see it just down in here. So there we go, that's sprue E. So down in E we have all the engine detail, which looks really nice. Again, on both sides. Technically this is the blind side, but looks very nice as well. And then obviously we've got the cowlings and the cowl flaps areas down in there. We've got those gear doors and areas. We've got the gear doors down in here. We've got those bomb racks, which again, pretty nice all the way over. And then all the various components and parts and the tyres you can see down in there on the end. It looks all very nice indeed. Okay, so a bit more of the mechanical bits down in here now. So this is sprue. This is sprue C, I do believe. This must be C. There we go. So that's C for you. Looking pretty nice. And then C, again, lovely detail. So these are the wing, are they trusses? Spars? No, not spar. Must be a truss down in here. So again, they're looking really very nice indeed. And then we've got that internal, so a little bit of clean work with all of these to be taken care of. But there's no flash, no sink marks, no nasties on any of this. It does look very nice indeed. Again, all looks pretty darn good. Rudder pedals down in here. We've got that bit of the fuel tank, you know, the side walls, top of it, various parts. And again, very nice indeed. Again, you know, from a point of view of a kit, shall we say, it's lovely. It's good, it's clean, it's crisply moulded, it's very sharp. There's no flash on this anymore. It's really, really nice tooling and moulding. Okay, so here we have sprue D. So this is sprue D with you, with all your figures and your bits and pieces with it like that. So again, I think if we run our way around. So instrument panel looks pretty nice, really nicely detailed. Two types of seats. So we've got the harnesses and knots. So if you've got the pilot figure, obviously you won't worry about the harnesses. So we've got those down in there. We've got the bombs, which are moulded with the hangers, if you like, with the actual braces themselves all the way through. And then again, we've got some slightly larger ones over here. So we've got sort of two of those for hanging those on. The pilot figure himself. So again, it's going to be a little bit difficult to show, I know, but again, we've got his, obviously his head, his arms, and obviously his body. And he does look really very, very nicely done, to be honest with you. Right the way through. I'm sure this is probably the gunner at the back. So, and again, we just try and focus somewhat on the head, you know, with these. Again, it's one of those ones where a little bit difficult to show. I'll zoom in as much as possible, but the faces themselves are quite chinny. Best way to describe him, both of them. So, but they are, looks like, I'm just seeing if it's the same figure. I think it's a universal figure for the face. Anyway, control stick. We've actually got the prop down in here. Some more of the armament things, a little bit more instrumentation down the side ones. And then obviously we've got the guns and the defensive aids all down in there like that. And the smaller parts at the bottom here as well. Which look like they're going to taking a little bit of a hit, but okay. So generally very nice with all of those. Last up, we've got the clear parts. So in the clear parts, we are greeted by large sprue, but then there is a lot of glass on this thing, let's face it. So yeah, where the hell do you start? So yeah, this is all your glass work for it on sprue X. So again, I don't know about lying it down and all the rest of it. So yeah, I think it's going to be just a case of walk around it as best you can. But you can see very, very nice. Got the side works, got the fronts, the tops, all the different lumps and bumps, obviously open and closed. Very nice. So you've got some really nice, good, sharp edges on this, which is good. So when you're masking, you get your masking tape down in there, burr it in with a cocktail stick, and then you can cut around it. And again, they are all like that. So it's not softly done or anything else. They're all really nice and sharp all the way through. So that's not a problem at all. So happy with that. So actually the clear stuff, really, really nice. And again, this is another, I think, a step which is very, very nice to see Airfix. The clear parts are just absolutely magical these days. I used to have a couple of companies and you just knew as soon as you got the kit, clear parts would be fine, no problem with it. And that doesn't include Tamiya. There was other companies like it. Airfix are doing that as well now because their clear parts are beautifully done. Now I know this is flat, but we've got some complex ones in here as well. And to be honest with you, they are really very, very nicely done as well. And there you have it. What do I think of it? I think it's great. It's a lovely aircraft. It's somewhat of a little bit of a legend. I was lucky enough, a year ago last week, I did a full walk around of this one up at Duxford. It was in the hangar and I managed to get loads of walk around reference photos of the one at Duxford and that, for somewhat working on a slightly bigger version, because over there I have got the 32nd one and I was going to build that this year. Anyway, this one's come along now, so that one can go by the by for the minute. But this is a really very, very nice kit. An aircraft, I think that all, you know, certainly from a British point of view, we've got a certain amount of love for this particular aircraft and the role it played as well, dropping agents into France and getting people out and things like that as well. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing that version coming along very, very soon as well, or hopefully we'll see it soon, because again, it'd be very welcome with a nice little ladder with an agent going up it. So yeah, very nice. Anyway, that is Airfix's latest release. That's a 1/48 scale Westland Lysander Mk.III.